Here's a video on how to build my homemade Lego Scarif Stormtrooper battle pack. This right here is going to be the pieces you will need to build this Lego set. So we're going to start out by building the tree. The first thing you're going to want to do is take one of the brown elbow pieces and put one of the red Technic pieces into the end. Then you're going to want to take your longer black Technic piece and you're going to put it in on the other end. Then you're going to take one of these just cylinder pieces and put it on the end of that. Okay. Then you're going to grab another one of these elbows, but you're going to face it in the other direction. So one's going to be facing one way, the other is, so one down, the other up. And so your one facing up right now with nothing in it, you're going to want to put your other Technic piece right in the front of that. And then once you're done with that, you're going to want to put another elbow piece onto it and have it folding the same way. Okay? Then you're going to take your blue, where is it? There it is. You're going to want to take your blue guy and put him in like that. And then take another one of these just solid cylinder pieces, put it in right there. Put this gray guy right in there. Then you're going to want to put your little connector pipe thing, stick it in like that. And you can put your tree leaves on. They don't have to necessarily be this weird olive green color. They can be the forest green or whatever you want to call this. I just prefer that because that's how the Lego Battle on Scarif does it. And in fact, you can actually just follow along with the instructions from Battle on Scarif, and you can get what I'm building right now. Okay, but you're going to then want to stick these guys on the end right here. You're going to want to space them a little so they don't touch, and so you can fill up the whole thing. Then this bottom piece, you're going to want to put this black piece on, or whatever color you have this in. It doesn't necessarily matter. And you're just going to throw it on right on the bottom and line it up with these two holes. Now that we've finished the tree, you're going to want to take your sand base plate and you're going to want to take this circular piece, this circular darker brown piece, put it on the bottom like so. Then you're going to want to take your 4x4 plate and just put it all the way on the bottom, right next to this circular piece. Once you're done with that, you're going to want to take this little piece right here. It's leftward facing, so if you have a right one, you're going to have to find a left one. You're going to set it right on the corner here, have it sticking out a little, and it's going to be like that. Then take one of these little tooth pieces, kind of, and put it on the end like that, and repeat that throughout the center of the back and right here. So it's going to look, the bottom is going to look like this. And with that, you're going to want to stick this little 2x2 with a singular stud on the top. And put this, again, this olive green, but again, it doesn't necessarily have to be that weird olive. It could be the regular forest color if you'd like. And you're going to put it right like that, just 2 studs away from the previous. And then you're going to want to take a little 1x1 flat and stick it on the top like that. Now, you're going to take your base plate and you're going to stick this 2x2 right here. You're going to take this piece that's going to hold your tree and set it right there, aligned with your 1x1, and take this 2x2 and stick it right there. Take your 3x1 flat, put it right there, and your 2x1 single stud right there. Next, what you're going to want to do is take this Technic piece, stick it in that little hole. Then you're going to want to take your tree that we have just built and put it in there, and we're just going to start building around it from here. Okay, now you're going to take this 3x1 and put it right there. Alright, now what we're going to do is take this darker 1x1 and set it right behind that tree, and take these two 1x1s and put them right in front of where your tree is going to fall, so it doesn't do anything to the actual studs. Okay, now this slope piece, this 3x1 slope is going to go there, and this 3x1 will go here. Now, you're going to take this little 1x1 slope piece and set it right here to kind of make it look like the sand's falling from all sides, instead of just having this one directional kind of look. The last thing we're going to be making is the crate, and these are the exact Lego Battle on Scarif instructions. If you want to check those out instead of finishing the video, that's totally fine. So this 2x3 gray and this 6x1 orange, you're just going to set that on evenly right there. Then you're going to take this piece, which I don't necessarily know the name of, but we've all seen it. You're going to put it on like that. Same thing with the other side. It's going to look like this. Once that's done, you're going to put another gray 2x3 on. It's going to look like that. And then these little seat pieces, that's what I call them. I honestly don't know what these are called either. And it's going to finish off like this. Then you're going to take these black pieces, stick a 2x1 on there. You're going to do the same thing on the other side, black piece with a 2x1 on top. Alright, now we're going to need to build these. And these are very simple to make. They're only a few pieces, so a flat 2x3, a 2x1 black, and 2 of these slope pieces. So what you're going to do is take this flat 2x1 and these 2 slopes and put them on like that. And we're going to have to do that 2 more times. You're going to take these little binoculars right here, or you can take the basic Lego binoculars, it doesn't matter, and you're going to throw them right inside. Then you're going to want to take your other 2x3 orange, and you're going to want to put a grill piece on it, like that. Then take one of these, another one of these 1x6s, put it in the middle, and put these two 2x1 grabby pieces. You're going to take your bars, and you're going to stick them on like that. You're going to set that on there. Then lastly, you're going to put this little slope like this, right here. And with that, you've made the Lego. Of course, these Scarif figures are very expensive, so you can actually replace them with the AT-RT figures in the new Mandalorian Lego set from the Mandalorian and Grogu, and it looks pretty similar, honestly. So, I think it's pretty cool that you can still kind of make this, and you're going to take a little gun like this. It doesn't matter if it's black, because I know the black one is much more common. You're going to take these binoculars, which I know black binoculars exist, and you can put them on like that, and you can practically just recreate it with modern Lego instead of these 2018 figures that are way too expensive than they should be. And of course, the tree, it does fall. And I would suggest making those leaves kind of flat with the ground so that they don't get damaged either if you try to drop it, if you try to kind of push it down a little quicker. But that's the entire set, everything that I made, all the instructions to it. I lied. That's not all the instructions. I have forgotten to get a Lego piece that I need to build this and set it right here behind this bush. And that piece is going to be a flat 1x1, which I have somehow lost in this work area. But it's just going to go right behind that little bush right there.